everybody. This is the start of chapter 7. While you're waiting, write this at the top of your paper, what I have written in green. What proportion of Blue Hill Stats students are over 5 foot 10 inches? We're going to count them up here in just a minute. Okay?
Oh, gross.
All right. At the end of chapter 7, I like chapter 7. It's one of my favorite chapters. Chapters 6, 7, and 8 are probably my favorite chapters. 7, we're doing exactly the same thing for 3 sections in a row. It's just the first section is proportion. Okay? So proportion is like percentage. Okay? We're talking about percentages. Okay? The second chapter is mean, which is averages. The third chapter is standard deviations. What? The third section, sorry. Second section is averages. Third section is standard deviation, but it's the same process over again. All right, so at the top of your paper, you have this written. What proportion of Blue Hill Stats students are over 5'10"? Raise your hand if you are over 5'10". I know Casey is not, so we're going to disregard her. Over 5 foot 10 inches. Raise your hand. Over 5 foot 10 inches. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all 4 boys and Emma, and that's it, right? 5? Okay, so our proportion.
Somebody's on
Rachel Gooden.
If we're talking about proportions, it would be 5 out of 14, which is how much?
What are you talking about?
Get a calculator for me, somebody.
Oh, I'm a calculator.
5 out of 14.
It's about 35.
46%? 36.
I said 35.
Okay, 36%. So, and Casey's included in this because she's not over 5'10". 36% of the students in here we're disregarding Haley back there. She's not in this class, so we're just going to pretend she's not here. 36% are over 5 foot 10 inches. Now, here you go. Can we say...
They're yummy. No, we talking about it? That's weird.
I know, but...
No.
No, because we have a chocolate.
Eat it.
No.
Okay, can we say that 36% of all students at Blue Hill are over 5'10"? Now, we could probably say that about 36% of all students at Blue Hill, okay? But what we're going to do instead is we're going to do this. Instead, give a range, okay? So rather than saying definitively, this is like what the next 3 chapters are about. You got to be quiet and listen to this. This is what the whole 3 sections are about, okay? Rather than saying definitively 36% of all seniors at Blue Hill, we would say probably 30 to 40% of all students are over 5'10". Does that make sense? We would say that, okay? Now, we're going to be using formulas to calculate and figure out how to get these numbers, okay? So it won't be always like 5 on either side or 6 on either side, whatever. We will be given a formula to figure out what the range is. Does that make sense? But rather than definitively saying, the sample says 36. You guys are the sample. 36% is the sample. But that doesn't translate completely to the population of all Blue Hill students, right? It would be better to say 30 to 40%, okay? Now,
Is that
one more
enough
thing.
for today?
No,
And then we're
one
done
more
for
thing.
today.
Okay, one more thing.
You're right. Until 7.
No, not one more thing today. Okay, one more thing I'm going to add in there, okay? We have to talk about how confident you are. Listen to this. We have to talk about how confident you are. So, you got to listen. You got to listen.
I'm confident enough to be confident.
Okay, we got to talk about how confident you are, okay? So, 30 to 40%, that's the numbers that I threw out there, right? 30 to 40% is what we're saying is over 5'10", okay? I'm about 90% confident that is correct. Okay? I'm about 90% confident that the 30 to 40 range over 5'10" is a correct range, right?
Bro, Simon.
Let's say, hold on. Let's say I want to be like 99% confident. Okay? Okay, hold on. Shh. Let's say I want to be 99% confident. I want to be more confident. What are you going to do? You gotta listen. Guys, shh. I'm gonna start shipping people out already on the first day.
Not even.
Be quiet. Let's say I want to be more confident. Instead of 90% confident, I want to be 99% confident that my range is correct. What will I do to my range?
Make it bigger.
Make it bigger. If I want to be more confident,
You say 1 to 100%, or 0 to 100%.
more confident equals a bigger range. Okay? More confident equals a bigger range. So that means I'm going to go like maybe 25 to 45% instead of 30 to 40, right?
Can you
I'm going to
move
say
your
about,
range to make it more
no,
confident?
no, usually not. Yeah, it'll just get wider. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's talk about benefits and takeaways from this, okay? Benefits, I'm more confident. But takeaway,
You are
25 to 45% is not doing
Yeah.
like that doesn't narrow it down. Okay, so let me give you another example of this. Are you ready? Okay, on the last test, I am 99% confident. I'm 90% confident that Clayton scored between a
60 and 70.
60 and 70. Great. Okay. I am 99% confident that he scored between a 20 and an 80. Does that narrow it down for you?
Wow.
No, I wouldn't give
If I would not have shown you your test and I'd be like, I'm 99% confident you scored between a 20 and an 80, you'd be like, well, that does a lot for me,
It's
right?
like the weatherman said
Okay,
50%.
I'm really confident that that's what your score is,
Valid.
but the range doesn't really, it's not really narrowed down, okay? So, like that's how this works, right? The more confident you are of that your range is correct, the bigger your range is, okay? Does that make sense? And if you think about it, it's like a target, right?
99% certain that.
Okay? If I'm looking at a target, last analogy, listen. Last analogy, if I'm looking at a target and I'm saying I want to be 99% confident that I'm going to hit that target, I'm going to make the target really big, right? Does that make sense? Like when I spray paint it on the wall, I'm going to make sure that target's really big. If I want to be 99% confident I'm going to hit that target, if I want to be 90% confident, it can be a smaller target, right? Because I could hit it, I could not hit it, right? So there's how that works, yeah? Okay, so let's talk about some notation that they use. They talk about a point estimate. A point estimate, listen. Okay, put this off to the left side. Listen, put this off to the left side. We have two different variables that we're going to talk about. You guys got to listen. Okay, this guy is called P hat. It's not fat, it's P hat, okay? That's how we will note him. P hat,
Fitting.
okay? P hat is the sample proportion, okay? P hat is the sample proportion. So, what would P hat be from our example from above? What would P hat be from our example from above?
Students?
36%.
36%. That is what P hat is, because it's according to our sample, right? P hat is 36%. Okay? P, just P, and not P hat, is the population proportion. And the way that we will write that is that P is going to live between 30 and 40%. Okay? So we're giving a range for P, we're giving a value for P hat, right? P hat is our sample, and we're using it to make a range for P. Okay?
And now we're done.
This guy, the sample proportion is called a point estimate. It is 1 point estimate. Okay? It is 1 point that is estimating the population range. Does that make sense? 1 point. 36% is estimating the population range. Yeah? Point estimate. Good? All right. Moving on. Example 1. The chapter problem included a reference to a Gallup poll in which 1487 adults were surveyed. Okay, what is 1487 going to tell me?
When Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean
No.
blue.
No.
That's 1492.
1487. What?
This said the Maria.
What variable what variable are we going to use for 1487?
Santa Maria.
1487
That has been way too
is the
long.
number in our sample. What?
It's
No.
the P.
No. 1487 is how many people we're surveying.
Okay.
No. No. What variable do you use for the number of people you survey?
N.
N.
I said it first.
Shut up. No, you didn't.
N is 1487. And of those 1487, 43% of them said that they had Facebook. Okay?
Yeah.
So,
Fact.
0.43, because we have to use it as a decimal. That's one other little tidbit in there. 0.43 is going to be what?
P hat.
P hat, because that's according to our sample. This is our point estimate. Okay? Based on that, find the best point estimate of the proportion of all adults that have a Facebook page.
40,
It's
50.
43%.
What?
The
No,
point,
that says all.
yeah,
So
but the best that I can do to point that estimate or find a point, because it's a point, not a range estimate, a point estimate. The best I can do for a point is to say that it's going to be 36%, right?
43.
So, or 43%, not 36. 43%. Okay? 43% is the best I can do to estimate the population, right? Okay? We're going to do better than that. We're going to give a range that gives it more accurate. But the best point that I can estimate for the number of people who have Facebook, if I look at all adults, is about 43%. Because that's based off of my sample. That gives me the point that I'm starting with, right? Okay? All right, now, the next thing is a confidence interval, which is these two numbers that P lives in between. That's like the 30% to the 40%. This gives me a confidence interval, okay? And they're going to tell you, are we 90% confident? Are we 95% confident? Are we 99% confident, okay? So what happens the more confident you get?
The more narrow your
Closer
the
to
bigger
zero.
the range.
The wider the range, okay? So if we're starting at 30,
What you said.
Your mom looks like.
if we're starting at 30 to 40%, we might end at like 20 to 50%, or it depends on how wide we want to make our range, right? The more confident we are, the bigger the target, right?
Me too.
Okay? And they'll ask us, what's the 90% confidence range? What's the 95% confidence range? Okay?
What did you say about Lisa?
Good? All right.
She kind of does.
Next thing that I want you to do, real quick, circle this word where it says critical value. Okay? Circle the word that says critical value. And
Her face.
real quick for me, shh, you gotta listen. Circle the word critical value because we need a critical value for each confidence level. There are technically four confidence levels that we're gonna have. On this list, there's three. There are 90%, there's 95%, and there's 99%. We also have an 80% thrown in there, okay? An 80% confidence level thrown in there as well, okay? And each one of those have a critical value, okay? Each one of those has a critical value. What I want you to do right now, everybody, because you're going to need to find this, everybody take out your positive negative chart, that one that has a whole bunch of numbers. Because I'm going to show you where these critical values are at on that chart, okay? The positive negative laminated one. Everybody take it out. Positive negative. You need it.
That might
Positive negative.
My New Year's resolution was to get rid of things that cause me stress, so it's gone.
Sorry, it's not gone. I gotta see if I can find it. Is it in here? Maybe. Oh, yep. It is right here.
What is?
Positive negative. Just the positive negative one.
I found it.
Just the no, not that one. Positive
It
negative.
says
You
critical value.
silly boy. No, we don't want that critical value. This one, right here. Positive negative. Everybody, Cray, you're not exempt from this. Get it out. Cray, you're not exempt from this. Get it out. Okay, positive negative chart. Take it out. Okay? Alright, on this chart, on the positive side, which is what I have here, if you zoom down below, you guys have a little guy down here at the bottom, and I'm pretty sure I wrote in there. No, I typed him in.
Yeah.
You have an 80% as well, okay? Which I don't know if they're in order or something.
No, they're not.
They're
They're not in order?
Yeah, that's really.
Yeah, I got an 80 and a 98%.
Oh.
Okay? The critical values are these guys right here. What's 80%?
1.28.
1.28 and 98% is
2.33.
2.33. Perfect. We need those, okay? Those are on your sheet. They are typed in there. These are the critical values
What's with the fish?
for these confidence levels. Now, sometimes they will give you the fish value, and this guy means alpha, by the way. It's a fish, but it's an A, okay? And they will say your level of confidence is 0.10, which means you are at a 90% confidence level, right? Okay. If you are at a 95, what's your fish value going to be?
0.05.
0.05. If you're at a 99%, you're at 0.01.
Wait.
Okay. If you are at an 80%,
Okay.
it is 0.20. This would be
Figure it
0.02.
out.
Okay.
Yes, she said
So
six.
No.
when you're given questions, they will tell you either the fish value or they will tell you the confidence level. I want to be 90% confidence.
So you're
The
done.
fish value just means like the, we'll talk about like the tails of whatever, okay? I'll get to that. That's the next thing I'm gonna talk about. So in this, they have to tell you which range you're looking for. Ultimately, what you're doing is you are building a range. You are trying to find this number and find this number, okay? So it's not just 30% and 40%. You're trying to figure out what those are based upon this critical number. And they will tell you, I want to be 90% confident. So you're going to use this critical number to do these calculations, right? To find what those two numbers are. But if they tell you, I want a fish value of 0.01, you're going to use a critical number of 2.575 to calculate what these two percentages are. Okay?
Interesting.
I'm going to show you what the calculation is, okay?
Tomorrow.
So, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. Okay? So, you use that critical value based on whether they give you the confidence level or the fish value, okay? All right, let me show you what these mean. Go back to your notes, but keep this paper handy. Sorry, I'm going to make you dizzy. Go back to your notes real quick.
No.
Oh,
I don't even want to know what you guys
my
Oh,
calculator
it's
sucks.
gross.
All right,
It's my plastic.
bottom of the first page. Ready? Here you go. Bottom of the first page. Here you go.
No.
These are the four. There's actually a 98 also. We don't use that one very often, but it's on your sheet. 98% is also there. Okay?
That's such a weird.
When they say 80%, this is what they mean. Okay? And I'm going to show you how the fish value relates. So you got to listen to this. Here we go. 80%. Here's what you're looking for when you're looking for 80%. I am trying to find these two cut scores right here so that 80% is in the middle.
Oh, no.
Okay? Now, 80% corresponds to a critical value of 2.33. Agreed? That means a positive 2.33 and a negative 2.33. This is the z-score that corresponds to an 80%. Does that make sense? Okay? 99%. If I do that one, I want to know what the z-scores are that correspond to 99%. And that is like 2.575, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's a negative 2.575 and a positive 2.575. And those are the z-scores that correspond to 99%. Okay? Now, how does the fish come into play? The fish comes into play because we talk about like what's considered to be significant. If we're looking for 99%, this guy and this guy that live on the outside of the 99%, these are your significant values. And how much is that?
I don't know.
0.01,
Oh my god, yeah.
which is your alpha values. Both of them would be 0.005. Yes.
What?
Yes. Okay. So let me go through what Marcus just asked. So do we understand that if you're doing a 99%, then this area on the tail and this area on the tail would add up to be 1%, right? Like 0.01. That's why they say your alpha value is 0.01. Because anybody outside of the 99% would be considered significant. 1% of the population would be considered significant, right? So Marcus just asked, does that mean that 0.005 lives here and 0.005 lives here?
Yeah.
Yes, because it's symmetric, right? Okay? So we'll get into that later on. But that's what the alpha value means, right? If we're looking for an alpha value, we're looking for who's significant, who is on the outside, and that would be 1%. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they will either say 99% confident, or they might say an alpha value of 0.01, and they mean the same thing, right? You're just going to use the 2.575 as your critical number, yeah?
Yeah.
To do your calculations.
So, how do we find
Okay. Okay? So the answer involves this calculation, which we're going to wait to do until tomorrow. We're not going to do that. It's actually not a hard calculation. Don't get discouraged, but we're going to wait to do that tomorrow. But we are going to do one thing.
No.
Hold on. One thing.
No.
Example 2.
No.
Find the critical value. They call it the z of alpha over 2, or just the z value. What z value corresponds to 95%?
1.96.
1.96 is 95. Oh, 96. Okay, is 95%. Where did you find it? Either here or on the bottom of your chart, right? Bottom of your chart. If they ask for the Z value or the critical value, 95% is 1.96. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give you your paper and I'm gonna tell you what to do.
No.
Because you can answer some of them, like the easy ones.
Am I not using the restroom?
We've literally done nothing.
I said then I am.
Okay.
Like afterwards.
Okay.
You know?
You can do number 1. You can do number 2, and you can do number
3.
3.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess.
1, 2, and 3. Go.
I could
Do 'em. Right now. You're just identifying variables.
What?
Is that the
That's
critical?
all.
I'm so
So you don't know what E is
I
yet,
realized
but
that
you'll
we're
get to that.
so long
How are we
and I'm
supposed to do this? We
drinking
don't know what E
Still don't know
is.
what E is. Thanks.
Skip E. And we'll do it now.
I'm gonna skip.
I will
Well,
be
I'm probably just gonna
I'm gonna skip all.
doing.
Go. Do 1, 2, 3. On this
No.
paper. There you go.
Is E marked as error?
Yes.
What is the
You know,
value?
this here
Yeah.
number
Oh,
3
no,
was
I
pretty
just threw it
easy.
away.
Can we have more like that one?
You can do number 4 too. But 4 is kind of hard.
No.
Okay, there you go. Goodbye, Casey.